G'day folks, welcome to another playthrough of The Dark Summer. Now, the first playthrough of this was a bit rough. Treated it as a learning game. There were a few mistakes, but the biggest, a couple of rules errors, but the biggest mistake I made was, I think, tactical, strategic mistakes in terms of really not pushing hard enough with the allies in these opening turns. For the first 3 turns in particular, we were very passive, worried to attack, trying to bring sort of 4, 5, 6 to 1 odds to combat, which was unnecessary. So having finished that with a German victory, fairly decisive German victory, I've set back all up again and I've made a start. We're at the end of the first turn and already things are going good for the Allies. As you can see here, this looks very different to the situation from the first playthrough. There was a bit of a breakthrough around here. Allies captured Bayeux and pushed along this primary road. They managed to kind of skirt around German defences in sort of this area here. And once they got on this primary road, it was some rapid movement out in this area. They did push out too far. They actually captured Caumont, but there was a German counterattack, which is rare, and which caused an American step loss and a withdrawal. Out around the Cotentin Peninsula with the airborne, I've kind of adopted an interesting strategy. I've pushed everything to the south, focusing on Carentan, breaking through these roads, trying to get to Perrières and Lassay and cut that peninsula. And I've almost ignored the north. I've ignored these northern defences. I've ignored the strong points along the coast. I'm just trying to push in across and south, which is probably more historical. In the last playthrough, I was trying to push north, trying to push towards Cherbourg. I'm going to try and focus on cutting this peninsula, then shifting north. The other thing I'm doing is hitting the Germans. You can already see reduce. There's already quite a few. You can see this full strength third flak, a lot of Ost troops eliminated. So already a couple of German eliminations. And this is what the Allies are hoping for. They're hoping to eliminate these German units so that they're not a threat sort of down the road. Around Caen, this is pretty standard. The British were delayed in getting reinforcements on. They had their move marker, their move activation as one of the last activations on the turn. So they were slow to get moving. This gave the Germans time to respond and really push up, which was unfortunate. I guess it all comes down to these activations. So you have the standard 4, and then we had British combat, which is good, an American movement, which was good. We needed that, brought reinforcements on, forcing the Germans to react. Another British combat, which was unfortunate. They didn't do much. And then a German reaction. No, sorry, did do much. It did punch a hole, west of Caen. So the Germans had to react to this, and then they drew 2 moves in a row, which brought their reinforcements up, blocked those gaps, and then the British got their move. We got an American move, and by this stage the Germans had withdrawn from those dangerous positions, so the Americans chased up. The Germans got their combat and counterattack, and then finally we got American combat right towards the end of the turn, giving us this situation here. So it's the end of the turn, and as usual, we have to run through attrition, clean up, victory check. The Allies get 1 for the capture of Arromanches-les-Bains on the first turn, which I didn't mark. All beaches are, of course, open. It was pretty much the invasion phase, and these waves were pretty much exactly the same as the first time I played through. So if you want to know how this went, just watch through the first video. Failure at Pointe du Hoc, delay at Omaha, everywhere else opening success. That was exactly what happened the first time playing it through. We now start a new turn. We advance the turn track. We delve into the weather cup to draw a weather chit. And it's amazing how the weather chits really drive the game. So we have showers. This is exactly the way the last game started off, 2 showers in a row. What does this mean? Well, the US get their 3-move combat. The British get either 1 move, 2 combat, or 2 move, 1 combat. They're going to pick 2 combat, 1 move. There's not a lot of movement out in the east, so they're going to focus more on combat. You can see also, I've reinforced the 6th Airborne across the bridge, across the Orne River there in the far east. That was, you may recall, we lost those 2 regiments, I think they may be called, of the 6th Airborne in the first playthrough, so I'm not making the same mistake again. And the Germans get 3 move combat. 1, 2, 3. And 2 reaction. I'm trying to hold back a sneeze. Okay. The Allies also need to pick what they want to do first. And we're in a pretty good position to... Are we in a good position to attack with the Americans? I think we are. We're in a pretty good position to attack 1, 2... Or we could even move out. Sorry, if I move you along. British aren't really... the lines here are static. There's not a lot they can do. It's going to be the typical slow grind. But out here, we can either attack immediately. They're in blockage, so it could be a DR result that they just cancel. They're in blockage, but I have... It's going to be 6-1 down to 4-1. It could be a DR result that they cancel. They're in quarantine, and I have 12-3, 4-1 odds. I could capture quarantine this turn. There's also an attack here on Saint-Clair-sur-l'Elle, which I am favoured. 20, oh, it's 6-1 at least, I think. Yeah, so I could attack first, seize the kind of initiative, which is kind of the idea. I think I'll do that. I think I want to attack, grab the Germans before they can withdraw, because these guys can easily just pull back 1 hex and then I can't reach them. So the Americans, the Allies, are picking their US combat as the initiative marker. Oh, replacements as well. I always forget replacements. Showers, we get 1 mech, 1 infantry. Well, we do actually have 1 mech. It's not a big step, but it's a step nonetheless. And 1 infantry. I could pick, I guess, I don't want to pick the 101st because I'll be withdrawing. Let's pick these 29th Division defenders there, just holding an important part of the line. Yeah. 2 mech, 1 infantry, 1 mech, 1 infantry, and the British get 1 armoured replacement. And I was mindful of this, so I picked an armoured loss. And Showers, the Germans, get 1 infantry. Well, they will try to hold on to quarantine for as long as possible. So that makes it much more difficult for the Germans, for the Americans rather. It's now just 2-1, 3-1, 1-1. It's still doable. Towns aren't that easily... This is interesting. I mean, towns don't give you much of a defensive benefit. 1 column shift to the left, that's all. That's all they do. So Carrington just gives you 1 to the left. It'd almost be better to treat this as a... I guess it didn't fall, yeah. Anyway, so American combat. American combat. Not a lot of combat, but some big hits coming. So here we go. Let's try with this one. 18, 21 on 2. He's 6-1. This goes 2 to the left to become 4-1. I roll a 1, which is a DR, which they ignore. So there you go. That's kind of bocage. 16 plus 11, 27 on 5 is 5-1 down to 3-1. 3-1 6 is a defender eliminated result. So we've kind of punched a massive hole in the German lines here. I'm going to advance with this kind of a scattering of units. Keeping in mind some of these are airborne, so they don't count against stacking purposes, which is why they're all mixed up here. Attack. We could launch an attack up here. We have 18 on. Let's hope this is a 1. On 2, which is just outside the naval support range as well. So it's 2 to 1. March down to 1 to 1. If I roll a 3, it's a BL1, so they lose a step, and we lose a step. This is the 90th Division, pushing to the north here, but no effect. And now this big one, Karen 10. It's going to be tough. 2 to 1, 1 to 1, 1 to 2 now, but we'll do it anyway. And 4 is a BL1, so they suffer a step loss. We suffer a step loss. And it holds. There's another big attack taking place down here, just in this bocage. Again, the Germans have picked the bocage because it's so effective. 36 on 6 is 6 to 1, down to 4 to 1. 4 to 1, 4 is an exchange. So they lose 4 steps. I lose 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can advance. And as you can see, the Germans are going to have to react to this, because otherwise we capture St. Lo on the next turn. That's pretty much it for American combat. They can't attack. Yeah, they're on the kind of right on the boundary there. I could launch an attack up here, 2 to 1. We're getting down to 1 to 2, but I've got a 1 in 6 chance of causing a step loss. Otherwise, yeah, not great odds. So now the Germans have to spend 1 of their reactions to react, and they're in trouble because there's a gap up here in the north. They're going to cut the peninsula, and there's a gap in the centre here near St. Lo. And the Germans need to decide now. This is very interesting. These are the kind of juicy decisions that this game throws at you. What do they protect? Do they protect? I think they've got to protect their centre here, right? They've got to say, this is fascinating. This is just, it's 2 little combats, but it creates 2 big gaps. I think they're going to say we have to defend St. Lo, and we've got this stack. Who do we bring out? Again, reminder that they can, on these reaction turns, the Germans can either activate a stack, such as this 3rd flak down here, or a formation, such as, for example, the 17th SS, or Panzer Lehr, for example. But we've got the 3rd Fallschirmjäger, who were pushing up to support Karen 10. They're going to activate because they're in a good position to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll keep the Americans contained for now. They'll hold there, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. No, maybe we can go straight across. 3, 6. Or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just in case the Americans try to come across here. They could easily surround Karen 10 and cut it off from supply. That's feasible. They have options. In any case, that's the German reaction, just plugging those gaps. But the Americans have an opportunity here. If they can get the next move activation, it's going to be a British move. Okay. So we have some British reinforcements to bring on. We'll roll the die, and we get a 4. So we get the 49th Division. And they have a choice of 3 more, 15th, 11th, and they're both the same. So we'll leave 1 behind, so we're limited to 4, and the rest of these guys can come on. Now we need to watch the situation out around Tilly's cells. Let me show you. So these are our reinforcements coming on the beach. Would like to start driving at Caen straight away. So we're going to bring these guys on at Oosterham. I will send the others. I'm just looking at the German line. There's a couple of potential weak points here. So if I can strike right in the middle, send an independent formation in, we might be able to get just inflict some casualties, basically. This is this aggressive mindset that I was talking about with the Allies. They want to attack. So we'll move these guys in here. I'm going to attack across the Orne River. into here, with a big stack of 24 against that Ost battalion. Now, defensive 8, defensive 6, defensive 12, they're all in the clear. So this is a good opportunity to really hit and hit hard. I could bring a couple of big stacks. I'll bring them 49th and they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there. We get 2 stacks to attack Panzer here. We will bring, these are the 51st Division with an independent Canadian battalion. I don't know what this is called. 11th. 1, 2, 3, 4. So bringing as much into here as possible. Defensive 8 is pretty strong. It's inside the naval support zone as well, so I'll be able to get a big naval support in here. If I can get a good combat result here, I punch another gap in the German lines. Going to hit them here with what should be close to 12, 18. Not that much actually. And then 3rd Canadian out on the right. 11th Armoured. Let's bring the 3rd Canadian stacks together and bring the 11th Armoured 1, 2, 3, 4 into here to attack this 12th SS Kampfgruppe. That's about it for British movement. So you'll notice a bit of a weak side out here. My focus is just hurting the Germans at this early stage. Trying to inflict as many casualties as possible. So that's pretty much all British movement done. They don't have much in the way of support yet. A lot of their support comes on... Oh, actually, sorry, let me double check. They do get their carpet bombing counter. So they could use that when they're ready. A lot of American reinforcements arriving this turn. The Americans get their carpet bombing and their tank destroyers. Okay, so now we're ready to draw the next counter, and it's British combat. Perfect timing. The Brits rarely get this kind of 1-2 punch combination, but now they have it. And as I said, if I can advance here, it cuts off the retreat of Panzer. So I'm hoping this will be 12, 18. So this will be 3 to 1. 3 to 1 is anything but a 1. 3 to 1, 6 is defender eliminated. We advance. We've now cut off Panzer retreat. Not Panzer, it's just a Kampfgruppe for Panzer. Now we have 16 plus 24 is 40. 40 plus 15 is 55 on 8 is 55 on 8 is 6. Oh, it's 5 to 1. It's 1 short. 5 to 1 should be plenty because it's a guaranteed DR result. We roll the dice. It's actually a 6, so defender eliminated anyway. And we advance. I think we'll send the 2nd Armoured through. Actually, no, we'll send 49th Division through. And there is a gap in the German lines again, which they're going to have to react to. We've also got these Germans up here. We've got 15 on 25 plus 11 is 36 on 8, which is 4 to 1 in the clear. Sorry, is it 4 to 1? They're in town, so it shifts to 3 to 1. 3 to 1. 3 is a DR asterisk. They have to retreat 2 hexes and take a step loss. And we can advance with the... We might bring the Canadians into Buron, because I would like 11th Armoured to come down around here. No combat along here, but as I said, we're going to cross the Orne with 18, 21. No, sorry, 18 plus 5 is 23 on 0. Okay, that's where the 0 is. So we may advance across there. Now we also have, what have we got here? We've got a decent stack here and a 6 there. So I could attack into the marsh. It's only a strength of 18 on 6. Only. But with our naval support marker, which I'll use, so 3 to 1, 4 to 1, with the marsh brings back to 3 to 1, and a 3 to 1, 5 is an exchange result. So 4 steps lost to the Germans. And 4 steps lost to the Allies. That's okay. I'm actually not going to advance in there because I'm now left with a rather vulnerable hold across the Orne River here. Okay. That's British combat. That went well. We've already, on the second turn, established a pretty secure foothold across the Orne in 2 places. Let's draw the next counter. And it's German combat or movement. So the Germans are lucky, as I said, they get this opportunity. Oh, they meant to react, I forgot. Doesn't matter anyway, they can pull back. 1, 2, 3. You can see what they're doing here. Pulling back to... actually, before they do that, they roll 4 reinforcements. They only get 2. In fact, they only have 2 to bring on this turn. They both come in on the south side. They're going to come... they've got problems. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 9, 10. They'll go to the left and we'll get the 353rd Division to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, problems for the Germans. I don't think they want to defend in the clear. They'll pull back to the marshes where they can defend a bit better. They're in the woods, they're okay. A little bit of trouble here. 21st Panzer will hold Caen. We've got 326 Fusilier Regiment at the left. 12th SS kind of being held just in reserve. See, it's interesting because major rivers block zones of control. In effect, this 3rd Division unit can cross the river here, which is a bit of a concern to this 12th SS. It's a minor concern. We'll leave it for now, but keep an eye on it. So holding the bocage around here. I don't want to really hold Caumont. I want to kind of advance into better defensive terrain, basically. Yeah, that's okay. This kind of... I'll push them up and bring Panzer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's interesting how, I mean, the Germans are basically giving up these towns and defending the bocage instead. That's the kind of, yeah, the effect of... So another rule error that I realised is that these third flak, these are also an exception to the stacking rule. I can actually stack these within a unit. And they don't count against the sort of 1 division per hex. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Putting them in the way of the armoured formation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, We'll hold them there. I might send it to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because there's some powerful British armoured formations out there that I want to stop. Now the situation around here is difficult. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just like that, we've blocked the Americans. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's interesting. Had the Americans drawn the next activation counter, they would have cut off the peninsula, isolated Cherbourg. Germans would have been in trouble. Germans got lucky. They always seem to get lucky. Okay, question now. We've got the 82nd pushing down south here. Do we reinforce Quarantaine or pull back? I think we've got to defend it. It's not that important, that's the thing. If I could pull back 1 hex into the bocage, I think it's a better defensive position. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll hold the Americans here. They can't go zone of control to zone of control. If I go here, it stops them moving in there without threatening this relatively weak unit. Because they can't go zone of control to zone of control, they're all kind of stuck there. This is still a little bit of vulnerability. What I might do is bring this reduced Fallschirmjäger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to try and come around and reinforce this section here. Germans feel like they're in trouble, but yeah, they're managing. Next activation is US move or combat. I might get a move action in, or move or combat. Okay, so we've got Bocage. This will be a guaranteed success. We'll punch a hole through here. The Germans still have a reaction anyway. But I think there's an opportunity to move before I engage in combat. So I'll check my reinforcements first. I get 2, which is pretty low. But there's only 3 formations to bring on. So we'll bring on the 79th and the 83rd. We also have some support units, carpet bombing and tank destroyers. Now we get to move these guys. So what do I want to do? If I hit Valon, it's a city, so 2 to the left. Marsh here would be good to hit. 1. Yeah, that'd be a good hex to hit. Only defense of 4. So I'm going to hit here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is going to give me a nice attack on here of at least 15, 17. So it'd be 4 to 1 in the marsh, 3 to 1. And then what? And then what? I think we'll send these guys one. This is the 90th Division. I'm not too concerned about these sort of German defences along the coast. I can just I can effectively move around them. They don't really stop me getting into. I may as well actually send one division in, one sort of regiment in, use that naval support that I've got, and the others will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just to kind of clear out this road. That'll be 9 or whatever that is. Then we've got, oops, the airborne down south here. 1, 2, 3. They're kind of slow and relatively weak. 29th Division, 2nd Division. Kind of need to think about the bigger picture here, about what's happening and what I want to do. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, cut off their retreat. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll bring the 29th down. 1 into there. These guys will come down, so we'll get a nice big attack on these guys, blocking their retreat, hoping to eliminate them. Whilst the 2nd can go 1, 2, 3, 4 into there. The 2nd Division is split up. There's another 2nd Division way out on the right, out here. In fact, instead of doing that, I'm going to bring the 83rd Division in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to attack. And that's 18, 25 on 5, which will be down to 3 to 1. And then we'll bring this unit down to here, bring the 1st Division up into there to trap those and wipe them out, I'm pretty sure. And the center here is actually pretty quiet. Americans holding quietly. These guys have to be there to block that gap just in case. And we've still got the 79th Division up here. What can these guys do? They don't need to really attack here. I'm pretty sure this is going to be elimination. They don't need to attack the strong points. They could drive across. We've got 8 movement, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I could move these guys, here we go, they can add to the attack. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I can bring these guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they'll attack that weakened division. Bit of a gap in the center, but this is impassable, so the Germans can't get through anyway. Yeah, that's it for American movement. What they really need now is American combat to follow. There are 4 chips left. Unfortunately, 2 of them are German, and we draw a German marker. So we'll move with the Germans. This will be their last movement. These guys will do emergency withdrawal, so they can make a lucky escape. They will give up Saint-Jean-de-Day. These guys will do an emergency withdrawal. Yeah, I think they can do that. Slipping through zones of control, that's kind of the idea of the emergency withdrawal rules. There was enemy zones of control. Yep, that's legal. That's what they do. They slip through these traps. These guys will just pull back 1, they'll pull back 1, they'll pull back, and they'll pull back, and they'll pull back. Frustrating the Americans. We still have some more movements. And what do we want to do? These guys will come up the road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll defend that. Hey, Charles. I was a bit early, I think. We'll kind of push out of the bocage. And is that dangerous? Yes, it is dangerous. I won't push out the bocage. I'll just make a big defensive stack there. In the clear, but in the bocage. I was going to move this up 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. We have 2nd Panzer Division in the center here available. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll hold there. All right, where does the 2nd Panzer want to get to? Maybe out on the left, I think. The situation here is pretty static, so they'll shift to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 7, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Frustrating the Americans. So it's just as the Americans are about to break through, German reinforcements arrive and block them. Yeah, wow, okay. That's the last German movement. Next activation is finally the American combat. And it has to be American combat because they've taken 2 moves this turn. But let me check if they can do a combined action. They would love to do a combined action because so many of these Germans are just 1 hex away. Starting on turn 2. Yep, I can do that. Place the marker on top. I'm pretty sure I can do a combined action, despite having... Yeah, okay, so I'm going to spend a... I was a bit uncertain, because I've had 2... Actually, no, I've only had 1 American move, so it's certainly legal. Combined action. This doesn't happen very often. The Americans get to move 1 hex, and then attack with 1 column shift to the left. So they will shift down here. Looking for hexes to attack. Trying to pick off these weak and vulnerable Germans. So again, 1 hex basically, 1 hex. Got a choice here. I can either focus my efforts on the 3rd Fallschirmjäger. It's currently just 2 to 1. I could bring it to 4 to 1 with 1 to the left. Or I can try and... there's a German combat marker left. So if I can... That's a 1-step unit. And it's going to be 5 to 1 down to 3 to 1. Yeah, if I can punch a hole here and then grab the initiative next turn, we could do something interesting. Coming down here, we'll try and do something here as well and target this weak unit. Now some interesting decisions over here. 21 on 4. Where's the Minor River go? Along the top there. We'll concentrate our efforts here, and they're all fixed. And can I bring in... No, I don't think I can bring in reinforcements, because it's not technically a move action. It's a combined action, I can. I may until reinforcements and make withdrawals. When I play a move chit. So I didn't play a move chit. I played a combat chit. So no, I can't do that. Okay, in that case, now I do combat with one column shift to the left for all of these. So no combat along here. Definitely combat here. But 8 plus... Actually, let's do this one first. Because if I get a withdrawal here, it's 18 on 5. So if I shift that to 20 on 5, and is this at the moment I want to use my carpet bombing? No, I don't think it's a critical combat. It's kind of right into the line. They've got reinforcements here. So it's 4 to 1. Shifted left 2 is 2 to 1. 2 to 1, 4 is a DR, which they ignore. That's unfortunate. Over here, we've got 14 plus 8 is 22 on 3, which is 6 to 1. Left 2, 4 to 1 DR, they ignore. Here we have 12 on 5, 2 to 1, down to 1 to 1 actually, but I'll attack anyway with a 4, no effect. That should have been 1 to the left as well. So that would have been no DR and DR as well. Here, 10 on 2 is 5 to 1. I think I want to use carpet bombing here just to stop them retreating and punching a hole. Actually, no, there's a German move. I didn't realise. No, they can't move. It has to be a combat. Okay, so this is going to be a 5 to 1, 6 to 1, back to 5 to 1. If that makes sense. I ignore the terrain, but I've still got the 1 left. So my 5 to 1 goes to 4 to 1, back up to 5 to 1. A 2. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's a DR 2 result, so they have to retreat 2 spaces. I can advance. There is a gap. Wherever they retreat to, there's a gap. But it's not even, because they're 1 step, they don't even take a step loss. And down here, we've got 18 on 2, same idea, 6 to 1 down to 4 to 1. A 4 is an exchange, so I lose 1 step. I lose 1 step and I can advance. Hey, Adam. I don't know if I want to advance. Oh, well, actually I do want to advance, but not with everything. So I want to be able to draw a supply line through. We'll cut off supply for these guys, which is good. Now these guys have 18, 21 on 4, which is 5 to 1 in the woods, down to 4 to 1. 4 to 1, 5 is a defender eliminated result, which is brilliant. And now over here, this is an important combat as well. 12 plus 5 is 17. I don't have anything else to add to that, so it's just 3 to 1. Down to 3 to left, 1 to 2, 4, BL1. So 1 step each. And up here, another relatively important combat. 16 on 5, 3 to 1, with 2 left for the blockage, 1 for my combined offensive. 6 is a DR result, which they ignore. And here we have 9 on 1, which is 6 to 1, shifted all the way down to 3 to 1. And 3 to 1, 1 is a BL1, kills them, but I lose another 90th division. And they can advance. Now we can flip this 6 to 1. May as well use my naval counter. Doesn't think it matters anyway. 6 to 1. So that down to 5 to 1 is... let me work this out. It's 6 to 1. Yeah, down to 5 to 1. So that's an exchange. So I lose another step. And the 90th division have really taken a beating out here in this kind of cleaning up of these strong points. Okay, so the important thing here, out of all that, well, it's not that important. I have a gap here, but the Germans, no, they won't get a combat. I keep forgetting that. Okay, so 2 counters left. It is the Germans, but they can't, they have to do a combat activation. And so they may 16... These guys are going to lose a step, so I'm going to attack. I think. Yeah, I can use it in any condition. So it's going to be 18. Here's the Nebelwerfer. 18 on 9. So 2 to 1 with 2 to the left. 1 to 2. 3 is no effect. Okay. No combat here. None here. Nothing along there. Nothing else, I think, for the Germans to do. But wait and see what happens with this breakthrough. And you can tell that on the very next turn, the Americans are going to lead with an American movement action, and they can. Germans are kind of lucky that these are slow moving. So it's going to cost 3 to get in here, then 4, 5. They're going to cut off the peninsula, and all these units are going to be surrounded. Yeah, and Adam notes that there was a scary German wall across the map. The Allies are focused on not letting that happen again, so they're attacking constantly. What turn are we on? It's just the second turn, Rob. So this is the first turn played out much the same as the previous turn, first turn. This is my second playthrough of this. Learned the lessons from my first turn playing through. It's just turn 2, but we're right at the very end. So these are the activation counters that have been played. We just had a American combined action. We can now actually, now that I mentioned combined actions, let's do a British combined action, because all these British forces here are 1 hex away from all these German forces. They're not overly strong, and we can't bring reinforcements on because it's a combat activation, but maybe yeah, so 1 hex down, 1 hex down, 1 hex in, 1 hex in, 1 hex over, 1 hex over. Very, very, oh, here we go. These guys up here will advance. These guys will, they can't cross, so I'll pull those guys away. In fact, I will withdraw that 6th Division force, airborne. I will withdraw, actually no, I'll hold them on the map there. I'll move these guys across the bridge. Hey, ID Jester. Those guys will advance as well. So again, I could have advanced these guys across to here, but I won't. So what I'm doing here is just a combined British action. They've all moved. They now can attack with 1 column shift to the left. So it's not worth going in here. That's going to be horrific, although that'll be 9, 15, be 1 to 1. I could give it a go. Should I give it a go? It's in Bocage, so I need it's a 1 in 6 chance of doing anything. And these guys are 24 on 7, which is 3 to 1. 3 to 1 down 3 is 1 to 2, and a 6 is a DR, which they ignore. Lucky Germans. Okay, so we've got a couple of opportunities for combat along here. These guys are on 12, so that's going to be like 12, 2 to 1, but they are in the clear. 2 to 1 in the clear. 1 to the left. A roll of 1 makes me suffer a hit. Now we have the Canadians here, 15 on 2, which is 6 to 1. 1 to the left. 1 to the left for the town is 4 to 1. 4 to 1, 6 is a defender eliminated result, which is good. The Canadians advance onto the airfield at Kapike. That was good. We won't advance all of them. We'll just hold 1 group back. Now, 21 on 6 is 3 to 1. 3 to 1, 3 shifts left, and a 2 is an AL1 result. That's That's okay. That's okay. And then I won't attack the other Hex of Khan. Options here, I could really hit this 12th SS if I get a good result. So 7, 13, 19. It's not a big... they're inside the naval zone though. So 19, 24 is 2 to 1. And 2 to 1 in the clear. So 1 column shift left is 1 to 1. 1 to 1, 5 is going to give a DR result. So 1, 2. And we'll advance across the river. And our armor will shift down. And we're making progress. All right, 18 in the marsh, let's do it. 18 on 8 is 2 to 1, down to 1 to 1, down to 1 to 2, 1 to 2, 4 is a BL1 result. I'll take that. Okay, so that mixed results. Gained a hex here, pushed the Germans back across the river here, and caused some step losses up in the northeast. And that's the end of the second turn. So, attrition. And there is some attrition now. These guys can't draw supplies, so they take a step loss. That is it, though. Everyone else is okay. But this is good. This is a strong Panzer Kampf group that we've just reduced. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Clean up, victory check. Now back to the start of the turn. We advance the turn marker. We draw weather. And the Allies would absolutely love a sunny or cloudy weather turn. More showers, of course. This is exactly the same as the first playthrough. Showers, showers, showers. If anything, I think it's actually good to get these showers out of the way earlier because your attack air is limited. Yeah. Did I use carpet? I used carpet bombing. Not allowed to use carpet bombing during shower turns. Not allowed to use carpet bombing. Yeah, got to remember those little rules. Carpet bombing only sunny and cloud. The Allies haven't taken Cherbourg yet. It's only the second turn. It's up to the third turn now. They could get in there, but they won't be able to get 1-to-1 odds. We've got a lot of reinforcements coming on this turn, so we'll see what happens. Now on a shower's turn, it's exactly the same counter distribution. The British will again take 2 combat, 1 movement. 2 combat, 1 movement. Yep, they'll do take 2 combat, 1 movement because they've got this slow grind out in the east. The Germans get exactly the same with their 2 reactions. And of course, we'll start with American movement as our initiative marker. So, the Americans, the Allies get to pick what they start with. They start with this, and here's the gap I'm looking at. It's a tiny gap, but it's a gap nonetheless. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 in fact, and we've cut the peninsula. How bold do I want to be here? Do I want to push up and... I'm thinking this blocks their retreat. Or do I just hold, let's say, 1, 2, 3, and they have to stop because this is an enemy zone of control. 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I push? This is an interesting question. Do I push down the coast, or do I hold here and just kind of? In fact, I could engage this force here to keep them away. what other options do I have? These guys are so slow. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah, before I do any of this stuff, I need to roll 4 reinforcements. And it's a 1. Or half of those available. And there are a lot available on this turn. So I'm going to bring the 30th because they were left over from last turn. We get some tack air. We have the 3rd armoured, some more tack air, some more tack air. All the tack air comes on this turn. In fact, we only have 2 formations to bring on. Half of those is 1, so we're bringing the 3rd armoured. And they're looking straight down this road. With a movement of 12, they can go. Let's have a look here. So now they're on the board. They are placed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Huh, that's frustrating. They could stack with the 101st here and try and hit that 77th division. Which means that if I just push them 1 hex up, it blocks their retreat. Whereas the 101st in there, these guys have nowhere to retreat to. And I'm kind of wondering... Oh, sorry, that was a mistake. I had to bring on the 30th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They can make it anyway. Blockage is just so slow for the allies. It costs 3 movement points to move through. So, for example, this unit here wanted to disengage 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think I'll do this attack. They're kind of, they can't move at all, so there's no real need to attack. My concern is this big 2nd Panzer. If they retreat, if they're allowed to retreat, all these units that are allowed to retreat to Cherbourg, then defend Cherbourg, and it becomes very difficult. But heck, there's a massive gap down the side here. So yeah, I think I need to hold here. Movement, everything else looks good. Yeah, we'll hold those all there. We will go 1, 2, 3, bring these guys onto the road. Bring the 1st Division back together. I don't really have the strength out here to do a great deal. Cherbourg was taken on the 6th turn, so this is all moving much more rapidly. By this stage, by turn 3 last game, you can go back and see, I think we only had like a little ring around here and the Germans were being very aggressive. And I wasn't attacking much. The difference here is I'm just attacking. I'm just being very aggressive as the Allies. So look, I think that's it. I think that's all the combat I'm doing. So yeah, the Allies have cut the Cotentin Peninsula, but Cherbourg is isolated when none of the Cherbourg hexes can trace the supply line. Check at the start of every German action round. Okay, so at the start of the next German action round, all these guys are going to be isolated. It's interesting. So these guys who are actually, so if I isolate these, this is important. Luckily, I just checked the rules here. If I isolate this unit and they can't trace a line of control, a line of communication, basically, they don't get relocated. And I kind of want them not to be relocated, this big unit here. These guys will be relocated. They'll retreat to Cherbourg immediately, but this big second panzer won't. And they'll be kind of isolated, trapped, and I'll be able to pick them off. That's what I want. So they'll just push one more little hex up there to block them off. That's it for American movement. I think we have to do a German reaction. Just to block this, because at the start of the next German, does this count as an action round? Is a German reaction. Yeah, it is a German reaction round. So there's nothing I can do really to save the peninsula. And this is where we get to, I'll show you this, because it's really the first time Cherbourg has been isolated. We've isolated Cherbourg. None of the sea-leaded hexes can trace a supply, basically, to a German supply lot. It's cut off here, it's cut off. So none of those are able to draw a supply line. Cherbourg is isolated. All German units that are out of supply but can trace a path to a sea-leaded hex are relocated. So they can trace a path, they can. They're all instantly relocated to Cherbourg. So they say, we're not going to defend this area, we're just pulling back to these Cherbourg defences. And no German units can leave the Cherbourg box. So this is a great moment for the Allies. I didn't achieve this last time around. And the great thing here is these guys are isolated. Not isolated, but, well, yeah, effectively isolated. Not in a real sense, just kind of like they've got nowhere to go. Yeah. We now get a German reaction, and they've got to plug this gap here. Third Fallschirmjäger, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're in trouble. They're in big trouble. Okay, yeah, it's got to be the third Fallschirmjäger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's this third Fallschirmjäger unit over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to go and defend Coutances down the coast here. This weakens their centre. It makes St-Lo very vulnerable, but I'm hoping they get a movement. We're hoping the Germans are hoping they get a movement activation before the Allies can, I guess, attack. They'll have to attack and move as well. And there you go, a German move. So a German move, they roll for reinforcements. They get just 2 or half of what they could bring on. And they have a lot here, so I'm pretty sure they'll bring on half of what they can. They've got a heck of a lot of formations coming on. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 formations. So half of this is 4, and they're looking for someone in the west. I don't have. Yeah, okay. I'll have to come on from the south. So let me give you a broad perspective for what's going on. So we've got some fast-moving Panzer formations. We'll bring out I think historically it was the 2nd SS who were out in the west, split, but they'll send the whole division out. We'll send the 10th out. We'll also bring them, and bring the 5th Fallschirmjäger, just this one group here out. Now, German, movement. One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. So create a gap. Now I've plugged it. 9th SS is over on the right here. And I think I'll reinforce this center area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is almost moved straight up to the front. We've got the rest of our German units to move as well. There's not a lot. These guys are all trapped. This unit here, oh, these guys can move. So now we can plug 1, 2, 3. Do I defend, let's say? Or, yeah, let's defend it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's so interesting how the towns just aren't worth defending. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. These guys can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Join them for 6. We'll throw our flak over here just to hold the line temporarily. Not a lot I can do in the center. Not a lot I really need to do either. Bit worried about the situation around here. They're just in open terrain. Do I pull back from here? I mean, they're defensive 12 is decent. If I throw a flat gun in, there's not a lot of armoured units here. There's just that one Canadian armoured, which is only worth 3, so it's not really that important. It's getting really tough for the Germans. There's this problem over here as well. So they'll push back in, and then I'll bring these guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to come back around a long way. I think they went a very long way, actually. They can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can't get through here because it's a zone of control. And maybe I should, I don't know. This is really weak here now. Calm. They're holding calm with just 21st Panzer in that town. They're going to be in trouble next turn, or this coming turn. Look, that's German movement. There's not a lot they can. Well, maybe I can pull back. Maybe I pull out of Caen, and they can't even pull back. That's the problem. Or can they? Any zones of control? No. You don't negate. Yeah, you don't negate. Yep, they can't move, so they're kind of trapped there. Okay, well that's German movement. That's, yep, German movement. Next activation is British combat. And they're in a good position to engage in combat now. So let's have a look. They can get a big... Oh no, they can't. This is where they tried last time. 51st is not a great attacking division. 12, 15, 21 on 12. We do have We don't have any British tactical air yet. We don't have our British reinforcements at this turn yet either. We do have carpet bombing and naval support. And we're limited in where we can use that. We could use naval support here or here, but nowhere else pretty much. So 2 opportunities for naval support. That's a good one actually because it's wooded terrain. So I could bring out, geez, it's a weak stack, 7, I wouldn't even get 2 to 1. But out here, that's just past naval support. What about here? It'd be 1 to 1. So naval support not going to be very effective. Could I do a combined action? Would that be worth it? I don't think so. They're all pretty much adjacent. It may just be worth trying to get, 1 attack in here. 15, 16, 17, 18, 24, which is 4 to 1. Down to 3 to 1. A 6, 3, 1, 6 is a defender eliminated. Well, there you go. And now we've got the 11th Armoured moving into Éperon. Okay, we could attack into Caen, 9 on 4, which is 2 to 1. It'd be 2 to the left, but they cancel DR results. You really need, it's not worth it. Although this is clear terrain. Oh look, it's 1 to 1. Let's give it a go. 1 to 1 attack here. A 5. 1 to 1 is a DR result, so there you go. Worth it. 1, 2, and we'll advance with, this is the 51st Division. There you go, worth it. Because it's clear terrain. Any other terrain, if it was bocage or cities, they could have cancelled that retreat. Which kind of makes me think, or do I do a 1 to 1 out here as well? Yeah, let's do that as well. 1 to 1, 2 has no effect. And what I say this is 1 to 1. I can't even push it up to 2 to 1 with my naval support. I would have to use carpet bombing, and it's not a critical location to attack. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty focused British. This is bocage. Yeah, not worth grinding through there just yet with the forces they have. So we'll draw. There's no gaps, so no need for a German reaction, and it's a German movement or combat anyway. I think I'm going to spend this as a German combat just because. Here's the thing. I've already spent 1 German movement. If I spent this as another German movement, there's a long turn where I'm waiting without the possibility of a big German movement. So this will be a German combat just so I can save the opportunity. Keeping in mind I've just moved recently as well, so we'll have some combat. Now I think we're going to hit the Allies here. They're out of supply, so they're halved. So 5 and 5 is 2 to 1, but we'll throw in our Nebelwerfer. So it's 5, 6, 7, plus 5 is 12 to 4, 3 to 1. But of course, the Allies can use their... Can they use tac air on the defence? No, they can't. No, they can't. Can they use tank destroyers? I'd love to. This is an important hex here. Tank destroyers on defence? Yes, they can. All right, so this is really important. Throwing my tank defence there to make it 2 to 1 now. 2 to 1 odds in bocage. Goes 2 to the left. And the Germans roll a 6, which is a DR result. Can the Allies cancel DR results? German defenders can, Allied defenders can't. How interesting. The rules specifically, well, the summary says German defenders only. Yep, German units defending. If you're American, you're out of luck. So they have to, and in fact, this is interesting. They've got no retreat path, so they're eliminated. Poor 82nd, and in fact, that is, I think, is it a German victory point for each Allied paratrooper? What is it? Eliminated is 1 victory point for the Germans. Yep. That hurt. And now they can advance. So here's an interesting question. Do we advance from top to bottom? Or do I try and advance out of there? In any case, Cherbourg is no longer isolated because we can once again draw, for the time being, briefly, a supply line. Yeah, I think I'm going to advance down into here. I don't think I can keep it open. I'd rather save that 2nd Panzer Division. They're quite strong. Sorry, it's a bit out of focus and off to the left. There you go. So they're advancing, they're escaping that trap thanks to the Nebelwerfers and despite the tank destroyers. Okay, any other German combat? Should I just say Mayswell? Mayswell, he 1 to 2, down to 1 to 3, a roll of 5 is no effect. Mayswell here, oh, that's actually 1, yeah. How about here? This is the worst column, 1 to 3. Let me check if that's even allowed. 11.3.3. If the final odds are less than 1 to 3, it's an AL2 result. So yeah, that's going to be less than 1 to 2. 1 to 3 rather. So no more combat. And yeah, no more combat elsewhere as well. So that's the German combat. That was pretty good for the Germans. Only a couple of counters left. So we've got 1 German reaction available. Now we have American combat or move. And of course, we're going to move, bring our reinforcements on, roll a die. It's a 5. We've only got 2 formations anyway. And we better be quick because there's some Panzer divisions coming on. Where do we want to hit? Well, first of all, where do we want these reinforcements to go? 3rd Armoured. These are good, hard-hitting, fast-moving formations. Look, tempted to push them to Cherbourg. Tempted to try to knock Cherbourg off really quick. What have we got? What's our defence here? 10. We've got 15, 20, 30, 42. Oh, it's a lot stronger than last time. It's going to be roughly 46, so it could be a bit of a grind. So maybe we want to send the 3rd Armoured into Cherbourg. Sooner rather than later. I could also use the airborne to help with Cherbourg on this turn and next turn. We've got 2 American combats coming up. No more movement after this. So, oh, I need 40 something. That's 16, 25. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 into there. 4th Division will send in 1, 2, 3. I want to get the airborne in so they can quickly attack before they're withdrawn. Unfortunately, they're all down here. We'll send in the 4th Division. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half, 5. 1, 2, 3. They could join in as well. It's not much, but it'll help. Look, I don't think I'm going to be able to get 2-to-1 odds, so let's just try and get at least about 50. 6, 12, 22, 28, 28, 36, 42, 50, 61. That's enough, I think. That gives us 1-to-1 odds. 61. Oh, if I send another 21 in, it becomes a bit vulnerable around here with these SS divisions on the way. So we will move these guys down again, recut and isolate Cherbourg. They'll stay there and try and finish that unit off. We will continue our push. 5, 1. Okay, so I'm going to wipe out the flak unit. They've done their job. They put up a nice roadblock. And yeah, that's about it for American movement once again. So we do now have these forces in Cherbourg. You can see them all line up along the top here. It's only going to be 1-to-1 odds on the Cherbourg column. This is very interesting. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a grinding attack on Cherbourg. But keep in mind, I know that the Americans have at least one combat left. And it comes out straight away. Here we go. Okay. Could have done German reaction? Don't need to, sorry. All right, so American combat, and let's go straight to Cherbourg. So basically, I worked it out, it's about 60-something. The Germans have 40-something. So we're just using the 1-to-1 column. Sorry, it's glary. Yeah, 1-to-1. If I roll a 6, it surrenders. Wow, okay. Cherbourg surrenders. Wow, okay. 1 in 6 chance of that happening. Cherbourg surrenders. Wow, the Americans get victory points for this. Cherbourg surrenders. All Germans are eliminated. Cherbourg surrenders. On turn 3, that's 3 victory points for the Allies. 1, 2, 3. That's more than they got the entire last game. So, wow, that's exciting. A 6. Yep, there's a 1 in 6 chance of that happening on 1-to-1 odds. Great. Okay. Now, all Germans are eliminated. The US player rolls 1 die worth of steps, and they rolled a 2, so they only lose 2 steps worth of units. It would have been a horrible slog. This is I don't know if you saw, this is a stack of German units. So if I roll the BLDR, you basically roll a die and you flip a couple of steps. You might lose 3 German steps. Just steps, not counters. That 6 means they all surrender. Now I'm going to pick some step losses among these guys, and we'll pick the airborne because never less than 3. So it's going to be at least 3 steps worth. We have 3 airborne steps in there. The Germans don't gain victory points for airborne step losses, just units eliminated. It's 1 victory point for each paratrooper, glider, or British Special Service unit eliminated. Actually, the Germans have 1.5 points because they eliminated a Ranger unit. Yeah, yep. That's good. All right, Cherbourg has fallen. And all these units now, look, okay, so first of all, there's the victory points for it. End of turn 3 is 3 victory points. Great. But all these units can now quickly rush down to the south and continue this push on turn 4, basically. So feeling pretty good about that. We've got 2-1 in the Bocage, which we shifted 2 to the left. Let's give it a go. It's a 6, which is a DR, which they ignore. Over here, we've got discontinuing the American combat, 10, 19 on 4, 19, I'll spend attack air to make that 5-1, down 2 to 3-1, a 3-1, 2 is a DR, which they can ignore. They'll be eliminated this turn anyway, so I shouldn't have bothered doing that. Now we've got 18, 28 on 4, 6-1, down 2. A 6 is a defender eliminated. They're gone. And 2-1 here. They can. It's a 1 in 6 chance of doing something, so I won't bother. Same here. But here the flak is in Bocage. 5, defender eliminated. Bit of overkill. Yes. And another gap here, which I think means the Americans can't actually move anymore. So I won't bother. Do I bother reacting? I wonder if... so the Germans still have 1 reaction up their sleeve. We'll hold on to it for now. We don't really need to use it. Yeah, that's a British move. I shifted the camera over here because I know there's no more American activations left. A British move came up, and they have a lot of reinforcements to bring on. And they roll a 3, so they can bring on either 3 or half of those available. And those available are numerous. They have got 6 formations available. They have to bring on half of those, basically. 1, 2, 3. They have to bring on the 3rd tank. Then they'll bring on the 53rd and the 59th. And where are we looking to push? We've got to move here, so we can pull our forces away from Caen and bring these guys in. So you can see some of these have taken a bit of a beating. The 11th Armoured is reduced. I definitely want to pull them away. 3rd Canadian is down to 9. Oh no, they've got 6 there. But these guys are they're 24. It's 15 here versus 24 with this reinforcing stack. So let's how can we get this done? First of all, we'll withdraw the Special Air Service so that they're done. We probably should also withdraw the 6th Airborne, which means let's send the Canadians out across the river. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. More Special Service, they will be withdrawn. Again, I've still got 2 more turns to get this done, but I'll do it now. Now, 11th Armoured. They will have to use bridges if they cross the Orne. 3rd Division is a bit split, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Be good to bring them together. Go 1, 2, there. Yeah, let's do that. These guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Getting ready for some assaults on Khan. And what else can we do? So we want to push in on the flanks as well. The question is how we precisely do that. If I push in there, I can bring in the 7th Armoured into the side. 1, 2, 3, and they'll also be able to attack Khan, provided this stack is attacked from here. Then we bring 50th down here. Where's the rest of 50 Div? They're over there. Okay. These guys aren't making much progress here, but I would like to free up the Americans. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That just lets me move this 2nd Division back out to... I'd like to kind of retain some regimental integrity. So that's why I'm doing that. That's British movement. So next activation. And it's British combat. Again, could have had a German reaction there. Not a lot they could really do. British combat. Okay. Combat. So I'm not attacking here. I am going to attack here, which satisfies the need to attack this unit. And I've only got 12, 13, 14, 15. So it's 1-to-1 across a river in clear. So 1-to-1. Still no British TAC air. When do I get that British TAC air? Just looking through my reinforcements, trying to figure out when they actually arrive. Oh, next turn I get 1. Okay. Okay, so what am I doing here? 15 on 12, 1-to-1, 1 column shift left for the river, goes down to 1-to-2, 1-to-2, 4 is 1 step each. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, which then lets me focus all my efforts on this hex in Khan. And I can bring in a lot. 24 there, I think. 24, 30, 40, 53. I don't need that much. I just need 6-to-1. So these 2 stacks attacking will save the 11th Armoured. Gives me 6-to-1, left 2 for the city. A roll of 5 is Defender eliminated. 6-to-1 down to, yep, that's eliminated. And the 53rd Division marches in to probably the most important hex of Khan, because these guys are pretty isolated now. Now, we will also wash off an attack here, 1-to-1. 1-to-1 in the clear. A roll of 2 is no effect, which then lets me focus 12, 24, 30, 43, 43 on 8, which is 5-to-1. Down 3 is 3-to-1. 3-on-5 is an exchange. So let me just double check. There's no city effects for exchange. So they're dead. 2 steps. 1, 2. 59 taking the losses and marching in. And we've captured Khan on turn 3. Cherbourg and Khan both fall on turn 3. Yeah, that's great. Again, this took me until, what was it, turn 8, I think? So, huge difference, just in this aggressive posture, attacking. Let's keep it up while we're at it. 9, 15, 16, 17, 18, 18, 2 to 1, goes down to 1 to 1. A roll of 5 is a DR, 1, 2, and we'll advance. Yeah, I agree. It's delirious with its success. 15 on 5, 6, 7, 2 to 1, goes down to 1 to 1, 1 to 1, 5 is a DR result. 1, 2. Crikey, the Germans are just reeling. You can't ignore retreat results in marsh step, so they have to retreat. We've got another, well, I wouldn't really call it a gap. There's a gap, oops, there is a gap along the top here. We can get through this road. The Germans don't need to react because there's only one counter left and it's a German move. As I said, it was good to hold on to this. You may recall I mentioned that if they would have taken it here, this would have to be a combat and there'd be a couple of gaps. There'd be a big gap here, for example. So it's a good tactical move to hold on to that. German movement. They can bring on, how many reinforcements? 5. They've got 5 formations to bring on. 2 out in the east. 2 Tiger. I don't know if you guys can hear that rain. It's a really heavy rain here right now. And a couple of formations down the south. You know, Adam, I think the same thing. It's like, is that a fruit? They're really, really bright red. Okay, Germans now need to look at their defences. This is the first time I've been looking at this sort of eastern defence. I've got to bring some forces on around this area. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're in trouble, to be honest. We'll bring the flak in to help. 9th SS is going to have to quickly shift around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just bringing these new reinforcements on from the south. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now these guys are going to come rushing around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These guys out in the east, the Tigers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll hold the southern edge of Con. I think we've got to do that. Absolutely have to do that. I don't want to move. I don't want to. Tigers are so vulnerable there by themselves. We will stack them with the 21st Panzer and put them there. And if the Allies really want to try and push through the marshes, this is a Divs River there. They can do so. We'll bring these guys back into the line, try and block them. So there is a huge gap up here, but it's going to cost pretty much. They won't be able to get through it. They'll be kind of stuck in the marshes for one move action. Yeah, and that's it. That is the end of turn 3. We check for attrition. We have some out of supply German units out in the west. I want to say some, just actually 1 and a strong point 2. So some more casualties. Yeah, let's check out Allied victory conditions. Captured Cherbourg. Now we're aiming for Brittany. and the eastern exit box. So really this is the main thing, the drive down to the southwest here. Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of the turn. We shift the turn marker up 1 turn, and once again the Allies hope for fine weather. Sunny, here we go. This is different. Finally a break in the weather, and it's timely as well. Just as these TAC air markers come out, we get the sunny weather. This is what I was talking about. It's not so bad. This is the same weather pattern as last turn. Shower, shower, shower. I think I had rain last time I played it. The sun comes out just as I have all my TAC air. So these can be used once per combat round, not once per turn. So they can be used up to 4 times. The Americans get 4 combats in a turn. So on a sunny turn, the US get 4 move combats. 1, 2, 3, 4. The British get 2 move, 2 combat. And now they're actually in a position where they could use those extra movements. The Germans get 3 move combat, but only 1 reaction. And we have some replacements. 2 mech, 1 infantry for the Americans. 2 mech, 1 infantry. What are we looking at? We may as well strengthen the 2nd Armoured back up to full strength, and now look at that. 2 mech, 1 infantry. I think I'd like to get the 79th back into shape out here on the far left. And the British get 1 armour, 1 infantry, and 1 Canadian. Oops. Yeah, so the Canadian armour has to be a Canadian replacement. But I might take the Canadian replacement out here because I think I'd like to have a really strong stack. Oh, there's my armour. So I can use that as my armour. So the Canadian armour is a Canadian replacement armour. And I get 1 infantry as well. Yeah, let's shift our attention out to the east here with clear terrain. Yep. Okay, so the Germans get no replacements during sunny turns. Let's remind ourselves of the weather effects of sunshine. German units may not use road costs. It's going to cost them two movement points to move through that clear terrain up here. So these guys are going to struggle. And there's a sort of a big scarcity of German forces up there. Sorry for the focus. What else? So Allies can declare a prepared offensive. Allies receive 1 column left on defending. Carpet bombing is allowed. TAC air markers can be used. And naval support is, as usual, available. It's also available in shower turns. Right. We pick an initiative marker, and I think... Okay, well we could do a move action and make a combined. Let me see if I can do this. So the Allies get to pick the initiative. They pick whatever counter they want. It says I choose my chit, place the others in the cup. Okay, it doesn't say anything there about whether or not I can make this a combined round. I can play an action chit to take a combined action round. On top of the action ship. There's no restriction saying I can't do it. So what I'm thinking about doing is picking a British movement and making it a combined action so they'll be able to attack, move one space, and then attack. Geez, that's a tough stack. 13 defense. The alternative is, let's say I move these guys. They go 1, 2, 5. Oh, actually, there's a road through that marsh. 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe I do that. Maybe just a regular move. Not worry about attacking. Canadians scattering everywhere. British also getting a lot more reinforcements as well. Second Canadians coming on. We get another TAC air. Sorry, our first British TAC air. So I could bring the Canadians on here and they can immediately rush to take the position for these third Canadians who could push across the Grand Canal and the Divs River. I'm pretty sure that's what I want to do. So let's roll for reinforcements, see how many we get. It's a 1, so we get half of those available, which is 2. And I'll take the Guards Armoured and the 43rd. Unfortunate, I don't get those Canadians. So they arrive in the beaches, and they arrive in the beaches. And as I said, these guys can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 to engage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I could also, so wooded terrain, sorry, forest costs 3 to move, so it'd be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They wouldn't get too far. Maybe I disengage this formation here. 18, 24. Yeah. Let's do that. We will bring the 11th Armoured across the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll get an attack going on this camp group here. Everything else is remaining pretty static. Maybe we can get an attack going here. What have we got? They got 6, 10. So here's another interesting rule. Zones of control don't extend across this major river. I mentioned this before, so I could cross the river with half of these units if I wanted to, but I probably don't. It's actually, per the rules, it's better to stay where I am. Okay, so now these guys here with their big exploitation. 3, 4, 5. Then they can go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and just trap those Germans in there. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we've kind of protected the coast. We've got access to the exit box. The way that works, it's a sort of abstraction of Allied units moving up into the sort of the northeast, but units can't exit the exit box. Oh, actually, starting the turn, the Allies first control all 3 hexes of Khan, which I don't yet. British, Canadian, Polish units can exit the exit box. Oh, sorry, lost connection briefly. They're looking like that could be another source of victory points. All they have to do is bring their reinforcements up and send them to the exit box and, yeah, gain victory points for it. So a couple of things really going well for the Allies. The capture of Cherbourg, the impending, I think, capture of Caen, and access to this eastern exit box facilitated by their attacks through the marshes here. Marshes slow to move through, but really not that punitive on combat. Okay, so what other movement we got? That's pretty much it. British movement shifting out. Oh, these guys, guards armoured. And what are they doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll swing around here and joining that combat on those remnants of the 346th Division. In clear, oh no, they're in marsh terrain, so one to the left. All right, Germans are panicking. Look, I think they have, oh, they've only got one reaction. This is not good. 10 movement points. Let's have a look. This is the edge of the map here. So if these guys get 10 movement points, there's not a lot they can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I say not a lot, but yeah, if they extend all the way down here, they're really out stretching their supply line. So the Germans will say, yeah, we will watch. It's a British combat anyway. So, 18 plus 12 is 30, plus 12 is 42, 42 on 5, 6, 7, 42 on 7 is 42 on 7 is 6 to 1, right? And 1 to the left is 5 to 1. A die roll of 1 is terrible. It's a DR result, but there's no retreat path. These units are surrounded by zones of control. They're all eliminated, and the Allies can advance. So German resistance in this area has collapsed over pretty much 2 or 3 activations. Now, let's try to capture the last hexagon. 24, 30, 36, 46, 49 on 12 is 4 to 1. 2 to the left is 2 to 1. A roll of 2 is a BL1, which in cities is treated as BL1. So 1 step loss and 1 step loss. But they hold the city. Over here, 18, 20, sorry, 16, 12, 24, 30, 42 on 13 is 3 to 1. In the clear, a roll of 2 is a DR result, so they have to retreat and will advance. Okay, so no real step losses, but yeah, it's just tough for the Germans to defend this area. That's pretty much it for British combat. Just some small efforts. Haven't captured Caen yet, but it's going to be tough, very tough for the Germans to hold on to that. If they try and protect the flanks, they'll easily be pushed away. Oh look, there's the 9th SS. Maybe this. So I can't react because if they move in, they're overstacking with the 12th SS, which isn't allowed. So the Germans will again hope for an activation, and it's British combat again. Now we'll make this a combined action. And now they get 1 movement point each. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. They still won't push across the bridge. We get more. No, we don't get reinforcements because of the combat chip. So let's, again, this is 1 column shift to the left for these combats, but 1 to 1. I'm not going to attack there. I am going to attack here. And it's going to be huge. It's going to be 6 to 1 again. 2 to the left. 6 is defender eliminated. now we've captured the 3 hexes of Con. We can put a control marker there just to show that. Technically 3 control markers really, because there's 3 city hexes. There should be 1 up here in Ustam and 1 in Cherbourg up to the left and 1 in Valence. This is just off camera to the left. All right, so turn 4, we've captured all 3 hexes of Con. Doesn't give us victory points, but opens this box. Basically, the British can now get, what is it? 2 victory points for each division in the Eastern box. Each division. So I'd need, for example, the entire Guards Division, or the entire 15th Division, or the 3rd Canadian. That's potentially 6 victory points just in those units here. So it's looking very good. This is completely different to the first time I played through this. Again, if you watch that, where it was a slow grind through here. I was very passive. I was too slow to get going. All right, Germans again could respond, and maybe they need to now. Maybe they need to block this gap. So we'll send our. I'm hesitant to do so because the Americans haven't done anything yet. But we'll activate the 9th SS Division. They'll go 1, 2, hold the hills. 2. Oh no, it's sunny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because this is a sunny turn. I didn't use any of my attack air there, just didn't need to. Maybe I should have been attacking far more aggressively with the British. I didn't need to. That's the German reaction. They activated the 9th SS. They can't move far. And now it's an American activation. All right, so we've got all these units in Cherbourg. Now that Cherbourg's been captured, these guys can all, well actually the airborne units can be safely withdrawn from the fighting. They don't need to hang around, that's all we've got there. Where's the rest? We've got the 82nd here, they'll withdraw. 101st Glider, they'll withdraw. There should be no more airborne left. 101st, they'll withdraw. So if I've done it all correctly, I've withdrawn all my remaining Rangers, paratroopers, gliders, special service forces, preventing the Germans from scoring any victory points for them. Now, need to punch through here. This is my next kind of consideration. I want to get my, so I've got 4th and Discipline divisions I've got here in Cherbourg. I've got the 3rd Armoured at full strength. You may recall they just arrived and then rushed into Cherbourg. Or they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can get an infantry division down here. So we get the 4th division down into there. These guys will just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll get them into there. And we'll get the 3rd Armour to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So looking for a big attack on the... Actually, maybe an attack on Marseille would be better. 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So kind of surrounding. If I can capture Marseille first, cuts off the 2nd Panzer's line of retreat. Unfortunately, this is the thing. The Germans haven't had an activation yet. And actually they could do an emergency withdrawal through here to here, which they'll probably do if they can get that. All right, so now we're going to move into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, third division, trying to push through here. And there's a gap here. How did I not notice that? Okay, 83rd, 1, 2, oh, we can capture something low as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just blocking this path of retreat. One, two, three, four. Oh, it's not that. It's 1, 2, 3. It's much further than that, actually. Where were they? Back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. They can be down. They've captured Coutances. This is pretty much game over for the Germans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just to kind of, we'll hold there actually, just to create some solid zones of control, preventing this whole cutting off supply here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 5. I could get down here if I wanted to, but I'm just going to secure, secure crossing across the Seine River. Yeah, okay. So first division is a bit battered, and they're facing a pretty strong formation there. Second armoured will pull back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The British are free here. You can bring second over. 1, 2, 29th frees up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, you haven't been seeing what's happening over here. They've captured Coutances. Just for context, Avranches is down here, which is critical for their entry into Brittany. That's it for American movement, and the Germans use their reaction, so they're kind of in a lot of trouble. Now they get their movement. Now, the 6th activation. This is, it swings and roundabouts. The Germans, in the game and a half I've played thus far, have been really lucky with their movement draws. This particular turn, they've been really unlucky. These guys are pocketed. They can, they're out of supply now, so they can go 1. They can't do much. Geez. These are out. They're all out of supply here. So they've got half movement. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. That's all they can do. We will suddenly rush second SS. It's a sunny turn, so they can't use roads. They can't rush anywhere. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's. I don't want to get any closer. 5, 6, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah. Oh, we still have some Americans that I forgot about. 90th Division. up in Cherbourg. I'll come down there. Oh, and these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's trouble all over the map for the Germans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's as far as they can get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Moving through Bocage. Can't use road costs. It's really tough. Out on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I guess. Try and get a defensive position against the river. And maybe we'll just push on that side of the river. Stop the British from moving down. We'll hold those hills. Yeah, that's it. That's it for German movement. Next activation is American again. American move or combat. They've used the move. Combat, I guess. Let's get some fighting going on here. 18, 21, 21 plus 12 is 33, 39 on 7, 39 on 7. We'll throw in some tack air to make it 43, which is 6 to 1, 5 to 1 for the town. A 3 is an exchange result, so they lose 1, 2, 3 steps. I lose 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, and advance into Lassay. Then we got a little attack on the 2nd Panzer. In fact, why bother attacking? They're going to be ground down, basically. Actually, no, let's 9, 15, 16, 17, 18, 18, 24, 32, 40, 4 to 1 goes down to 2 to 1. 2 to 1, 5 is a DR asterisk, so they do have to retreat, I believe. Bocage. When 2 or more steps of defending retreat, DR asterisk is BL1, so it's a BL1 result. But they'll lose that last step. Okay. Combat. There's potential combat down here, which I don't want to do. Potential combat here, which I'm not worried about. It's really just that one combat up there. 13, 14, 15, 16. I won't worry about. Let's get a 2 to 1 attack, which is shifted down to 1 to 2. 1 is an AL1 result here. All right. Don't forget my Cherbourg captured marker. Okay. Next activation is German move again. Okay. Again, if they move, they might do a combat. They'll do a 1 to 2. No, they can't fight here. They can't fight here. I think they have to be honest, they have to move because there's still gaps in the line. I don't know what to do. They'll make this a combat. Can I counterattack anywhere? 12, 20, 20. 20 on 8, 2 to 1 in Bocage. Goes down to 1 to 2. 1, even they lose that as well. Yeah, no more German combat. American movement or combat. Let's make this one a move. And we'll continue. to move some forces through here. So from Coutances we go, yeah, we can move in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just sliding through these gaps here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pinning these guys down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just to really pin those guys down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they can't move anywhere. I haven't quite cut these guys off from. This is a bit risky here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they'll hold there. So I'm trying to kind of push through here, but the second SS can still respond through here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, so pinning them down there. What else have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I might give up St. Lo by accident, which is not really a problem. If the Germans want to move in there, that's okay. All right, we've got some coastal move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 12. And I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we've got some. I missed some reinforcements from the Americans. Oh, it's this one division. So they come on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so look, it's really looking bad for the Germans. And now we've got a British move. And they can now begin to throw units off into the exit box for victory points. We will move in there first. Look, so the question is, there's still a lot of divisions coming in, surely, I think. Actually, there's not that many British divisions coming on. But let's contain these guys first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. 4. Oh, British reinforcements, of course. 3, that lets me bring on these guys. I'll land there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to try and get another big attack on these guys. The hills will give them 2 column shifts to the left, but yeah, we should be able to win that. 15th Division, up here. I'm sure they can do a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This basically means the Germans can't bring reinforcements through these areas. And we'll actually bring some guys down the road here. Where were they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Move in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, sorry. 3, 4, 5. Stop there. Threaten this position. May as well move them down to there. And why not? No, we'll hold there. Yeah, so look, this whole German flanks are just fragile. Next activation is an American combat. It does have to be American combat because they've used their 2 moves. So, where do they want to combat? Not up here because that'll be eliminated in a moment. Pretty much nowhere really. These guys will be down to 1 step, so they'll be eliminated. They'll lose some steps, and maybe I make this a combined action. These guys can move 1 hex, 1 hex, 1 hex, 1 hex, 1 hex. Well, this lets me move into St. Lo, I guess. 1 hex. And then we get some combat if we want with 1 column shift to the left. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 19. Why not throw in some carpet, do we need carpet bombing? 19. Look, I think a tank destroyer and some tac air gives me 5 to 1, down to 3 to 1. 3 to 1, 3 is a DR asterisk, which they treat as a BL1. So 9th Division again will take the brunt of that. And they'll be eliminated because of supply. 18 on 5 with that gives me 4 to 1 down to 2 to 1. 2 to 1, 6 is an exchange, so they're eliminated and I lose 2 steps. And they can advance. And don't need to attack there. I could attack this 16, 20, 32, 40 on, oh geez, 40 on 22. Yeah, look, Demonic, I finished the first game and I immediately set it up again and started playing through it. There seems to be really good replay value. What I look for most is the kind of interesting decisions that you make. Like when you're stewing over a decision, what to do, there's a lot of sort of planning to do, but the fundamentals are really quite nice. I like a simple CRT. It's nice. I like easy combat odds calculations. I like when the decisions you're making are, really kind of tricky, but based on relatively clear mechanics, if that makes sense. So both sides have a lot of choices to make. The chit draw mechanism, straightforward, little overhead, anti-fiddly, yeah. Look, admittedly, I've missed a lot in the first game. I'm sure I've probably made some mistakes here. I can't think of any, but I'm sure there's been some. So that's it for American movement and combat. 1 hex, a couple of attacks, they're in trouble. The last one is a German move. There's not a lot they can do. they're in trouble. So looking over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a massive gap here, straight to avalanches basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. His reinforcements just moves. Does it feel? Yes, absolutely. I mean, keep in mind the scale here. You're looking at regimental brigade scale, and you really want to keep divisions close together. So there's a strong sense of divisional integrity. They're a great. It's amazing. I mean, Ted Racer is all the little rules quirks here, like the victory conditions and pretty much the victory conditions. Everything you see on this table, all the little quirks are designed to kind of encourage players to drive for historical outcomes. So the rush to capture Cherbourg, it means that the Germans automatically win if they control Cherbourg at the end of turn 7. This means that if the Americans ignore Cherbourg, first of all, they start losing victory points on turns 5 and 6, and then they'll lose the game. So they've really got to pursue their historical agenda and drive for Cherbourg. The rules for cutting off Cherbourg isolated, means that the Americans want to cut the Cotentin Peninsula, which they did historically. The rules around the role of paratroopers in securing key routes is also reinforced, but you can't just sacrifice them. So there's rules for if they're eliminated, you lose, the Germans get victory points, but also if they're left on the map, you lose victory points. So all these little things, every little point here pushes you towards the historical agenda of the campaign. And you're making those decisions with those victory points in mind. Crikey, I've got less than 2% of battery power left. So what can I do? Let me quickly play out. This is the last turn. German movement. These guys want to get the heck out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't go any further. They're stuck. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a German withdrawal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they'll come back as well. Oh God, over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still can't cover 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They can come all the way over here. I forgot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They can't cross the river, I don't think. So sorry, this is off camera. I've plugged the gaps out here, but geez, that's the German line thinly scattered. They can't really do much because it's a sunny turn. Look, I'm about 1% battery. That is the end of the turn. Things looking very good for the Americans. They'll get the initiative. They can rush down here. They might be able to reach Avranches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nah, this is a slow-moving unit, unfortunately. And the Germans got lucky to block this road. If they didn't block that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe. But certainly we'll catch a Granville and more on the next turn. I have to stop there, folks. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I'll be back soon.